Greetings, everyone. This is Matt Ladoff. We have several people still coming in. We're going to do introductions. I do ask to make sure that this is engaging. If possible, please turn your video on. Feel free to keep yourself muted. And then as you have a question, I encourage you to either raise your hand, use the chat bar, or feel free to unmute and ask a question. I'm really excited to introduce Pamela, who works at Target, is on the recruiting team, and is going to tell you about some fabulous opportunities. And then we'll make sure to answer any and all of your questions today as well. Pamela, yeah, do you want to introduce yourself? And then why don't we go around and do introductions after that?
Sure, sounds good. Hi, everyone. My name is and I'm a campus recruiter at Target. I started at Target as a business analyst, actually, right after graduation. And then for the last 3.5 years, I've been in talent acquisition. So I have supported headquarters and then currently support leadership opportunities for internship and full-time in a couple markets within the Midwest, including Minnesota. And so that's basically what we're going to talk about today, is like a Target overview and then opportunities specifically within leadership at Target for internships and full-time.
Excellent. And to be kind of efficient with our time, if each of you would be willing to share your name, major, and community college, and then what of the roles you're specifically interested in. I will put that in the chat as well. And then if you could also popcorn to the next student. And Jennifer, you are listed first on my screen. So if you would be willing to kick it off, that would be great. Thank you.
Hi, yes, my name is Jennifer. I'm going to the University of St. Thomas right now. And I'm interested in the asset management internship available at Target. So, yeah.
And then Jennifer, do you mind if we could just popcorn around to everyone? And actually, Pamela, do you mind taking the screen presentation down just for this portion? Perfect. So I'll do this next one. Laura, do you want to go?
Sure. Hi, guys. My name's Laura. I'm currently attending the U of M right now. My majors are going to be finance and international business. We'll see later on, that could change. Currently, I'm interested in the store management position. So, and then I guess next on my list, I have Ka. So I'll pop one in.
Hi, my name is Ka. I go to University of Minnesota and considering of majoring in computer science. And the internship position that I'm interested in is also store management because I might do a minor in economics. So. And popcorn chain.
Hello. That's it me now.
Yep. Thank you, Shane.
All right. Hello, my name is Shane. Undeclared major, but I'm going to be looking to a physics degree. The type of internship I would want. Unsure at the moment. That's fine. But to try looking into that. Then I'll popcorn to Ethan.
Hello, my name is Ethan. I'm majoring in economics at the moment. I study at the University of Minnesota, and I'm interested in the asset protection executive intern. Popcorn, Brian.
Hello, my name is Brian. I'm currently going to Normandale Community College with majoring in the business transfer pathway. And I believe that's everything, right, Matt?
Yep, sorry about that delayed response. Yep, and then please just keep
Okay.
popcorning around.
Okay, I'll go ahead and popcorn to Caleb.
Sure. My name is Caleb Jungling. I'm a student at St. John's majoring in political science and Hispanic studies. And I'm interested in the asset protection internship. Let's go to David. You haven't gotten yet, right? Nope, you put it in the chat.
And not to worry, I will share for David is at Gus Davis, interested in business management. And if we could popcorn to Pong.
Sure. Hello guys, my name is Pompe and I am a student at the University of Minnesota, and I am pursuing the life studies major, combining computer science, psychology, and design. And I am interested in the access protection internship and popcorn. And
Is it okay if I go next? I couldn't really hear.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, my name is Mai Shobe, and I'm currently a business and marketing education major at University of Minnesota. And as of right now, just like looking over like the descriptions, I'm like interested in both, but like, so I'm here to find out which is more interesting. Yeah. Popcorn, Pena.
So hi, my name is Pei. I'm currently majoring in marketing, and the position I'm interested in was the store management. And then I'll popcorn to Milo.
Hi, my name is Mai. I'm studying at St. Olaf College. I'm majoring in biology, economic, and finance. And right now I'm more interested in the store management position. And I'm a popcorn to Jennifer.
I already went. Did anybody else want to go?
I can go.
You can go. Oh, you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm Dot. I am attending the University of Minnesota. The major I want to major in is finance and international business as well. And I'm interested in the store management position, and I'll popcorn to you, Jayla.
Hi, my name's Jayla Lyman. I'm currently a junior at the University of Minnesota, majoring in business marketing education with a minor in sociology. And the internship that I'm interested in is store management. And I'll popcorn to whoever hasn't gone yet. I'm not sure at this point.
I can go. Hello, everyone. My name is Sumon Dahal, and my pronouns are he, him, his. I'm a student at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, currently planning on majoring in finance. And I'm interested in the assets protection internship. And whoever hasn't gone can go.
I can go. Hello, I'm Nimra Ali. I am currently attending the University of Minnesota. Right now, I'm planning on majoring in philosophy, but I haven't decided what I would also, because I'm planning on doing a dual major. And I'm interested in both, but I lean more towards the asset management side. Oh yeah, I forgot a popcorn. Laura, has Laura gone? Or I guess anyone who hasn't gone yet. Sorry about that.
Matt, did you go yet?
No, I'm just with Wallen. If you want to go ahead, thank you.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Blaia, and I'm a senior at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. I am an English literature major, and I'm interested in learning about both of the internship.
All right, we have a couple more students if we want to just finish up. If you haven't gone, Tony, I think if you'd like to go.
Sure, yeah. My name is Tony Rapumi. Currently going to Metro State University, majoring into law enforcement and also participating in ROTC program at the U. The position I would probably be most interested in is the assets protection.
I'll go. My name is Kang Lee. I'm attending NDSU. I'm a senior there studying food science. And the role that I would be interested in is asset protection.
I can go next. My name is Tafiq. My major is computer science. I attend the University of Minnesota, and I'm interested in both internships, but I'm more interested in asset protection.
Excellent. Have we missed anyone? Perfect. Back to you, Pamela, if you'd like to share your screen.
Sounds good. Well, to kick us off, wanted to start off with sharing a little bit more about Target, and then we'll get into specific internship opportunities. And so to do that, we actually have a video that talks about like our culture, response to social injustice, coronavirus, all of those things. And so it's a little bit over 6 minutes. So we'll go through that video, and then I'll bring us back to tie some things in together and then get into the internship program. So I'm going to share my screen and then put it in the chat if there's any issues with sound or anything like that. So 1 second. Okay.
First and foremost, this company is really crushing it. How in the world Target put this type of year off? It's a real fairy tale.
Target's gutsy decision to make its stores the centerpiece of the brilliant move. They've spent money on the stores. They've invested a lot in these private brands, and that's the differentiator for Target.
Target's doing it right.
With going to Target. It is a happy, happy place.
That's me.
We both like Target. We can be friends.
As we've gone through this process of identifying our target purpose, what's really been important to me is see the reaction of our team members. When they read it, when they hear it, when they think about our purpose, and how they've all reacted saying, that's us, that's Target.
Our purpose is to help all families discover the joy of everyday life. The way we bring that to life is through our guest experience. Our guest experience is Wire. It is welcoming, inspiring, rewarding, and easy.
These words were based on a lot of research, a lot of guest insights, and articulating a positioning that is true to what Target is and can be, and what's important to our guests.
right, and I will get the presentation up here. Let's see. All right, sounds good. Well, I hope that video just was a great glimpse as a little bit more into culture and some of the priorities that we have and the things that we stand for here at Target. And so we like to play that video just to have it be a little bit more interactive versus be sharing all of that information via slides as well too. So as you saw, our brand purpose is to help all families discover the joy of everyday life. And basically what that means is that Target is purpose driven, which means that every strategy, every decision that we make should be in service to our purpose. And basically helping all families discover the joy of everyday life shows up in many different ways, whether your family is, your immediate family, it could be roommates while you're in college, making sure that we are able to service our guests in all ways whenever they need us. And essentially, it makes our teams excited to come to work every day. And that is the way that we bring that purpose to life. And so thinking about that purpose again, think about all of the ways we bring that to life. So think about fulfillment options, inclusive assortment, Black History Month assortment that is in our stores right now. And so that's just more so of a check for us to say and make sure that we're grounded in what our purpose is. I won't go through every detail that's on this slide here, but it's just a snapshot of our business model. And so some of this was covered in the video in terms of number of team members, where we're headquarters, distribution centers in the US, number of stores, all of those kind of things. But share this detail just to not only provide insight into the business, but also thinking about, companies that you're potentially interested in working for. There's a ton of complexity, data, processes to dive into. And so our team members, whether that's interns or full-time team members, are for sure working on impactful work that is bringing value to the team, to guests, and to the communities that we serve. And we also talked a little bit about this in the video as well, but diversity and inclusion has always been a core value at Target. And I'm proud of the work that we are doing and have been doing to be an open and welcoming company. I would definitely say after the murders of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and so many more, we are reminded that we need to continue to work urgently every day to bring an inclusive environment to, our team members, to our guests, and to our communities. And especially, we know that we have to go deeper to create equity for our Black team members and guests. And so the need for social justice is undeniable, and we're committed to utilizing Target's scale and size to create positive change. And so, being one of the largest retailers in the US, we know that we have a responsibility to our community, to our team, and to our guests as well too. And so to actually advance this work, since 2020, we have launched a REACH committee, which stands for Racial Equity in Action Committee. And this is a group of senior leaders who are put together to think about how we can advance this work. And so whether that is work that impacts us, our team here at Target, our community, public sector in terms of, how we are influencing things within policy and being involved within politics as well too. And so this is a newer committee, but we have a lot of work that is underway that I'm sure you'll see a lot more from in the coming months as well too. And then community, last year we donated over $200 million in cash and in-kind donations to communities that we serve. And so this is just another reiteration of volunteerism and community being a core value at Target. And so 5% of our profits at the least have gone back to our communities since 1946. And one other thing that I wanted to point out as well is that for the 5th consecutive year, last year, Target volunteers have contributed over $1 million, or over 1 million hours of service, I should say, in support of charitable causes. So know that that's a huge, again, core value at Target. It's encouraged to get out, and a lot of times teams will go together to community organizations and events as well. And just wanted to reiterate this as well. We often get questions, especially as a recruiter, with around like what specific measures we're taking to keep our team members and guests safe. And we've taken a number of steps in support of our team and our guests with just increased safety measure and operational changes. And we'll continue to do this as we continue to navigate uncertain times. And so in terms of our business model, in terms of profitability and things like that, we've started to use our stores as hubs prior to the pandemic. And basically what that means is instead of your .com order being fulfilled from a distribution center that is 300 miles away from your house or 100 miles, we've used our stores as hubs. And so that means that the store could be fulfilling your .com order. And so instead of that coming 300 miles away from you, it's coming 10 miles from your local Target. And so that increases customer satisfaction in terms of getting your product to you as soon as possible. And then from Target's perspective, lowering overhead and cost of actually shipping to you as well too. And then in terms of safety measures and supporting our team, we've increased sanitation hours in our stores. And so I'm hoping that you see every time you go into Target that there's someone wiping down the baskets. If you're using self-checkout, that should be wiped down after every use, as well as like plexiglass for traditional checkout lanes as well. And so masks being available and required, dedicated shopping hours for vulnerable guests as well as our team. And so we've also gotten a lot of questions about how we're showing up for our team. And so some of that is shopping hours prior to store open for our team. And so that's something that we realize in terms of, with our teams working even additional hours sometimes, when do they have time to make sure that they are shopping for their family and for their needs? And so because of that, they kind of get the first dibs at in-stock items and things like that before our stores open. Backup daycare benefits for working parents, additional payroll. So in the beginning of the pandemic, we did not come out with a statement that said, we were going to hire X amount of individuals. And that was really because if there was additional payroll, additional needs, we wanted to take care of our team first. And so that's where that additional timing and payroll and dollars went to. We have also continued paid leave for individuals who unfortunately have become ill or are at risk, or individuals who may be pregnant as well too. And so that's something that we want to make sure that we are showing up for our team first, and of course our guests as well. And then getting specifically into the internship program. So again, we have multiple different internship programs, but the ones that we're focusing on today are store management as well as asset protection. And the structure of them are pretty similar in terms of being 10-week programs that are paid, and each are structured within our stores. And so both of the internship programs are technically full-time over every summer. And so essentially you would be working 40 hours a week and you'd receive full schedules prior to joining us. But basically, in both opportunities is meant to give you a job preview into what a full-time opportunity would look like. And so in the internship program, it is always our goal to hire our interns full-time. So know that regardless of if we have 20 or 100 interns, you're not competing with anyone other than yourself. It really is based off of the performance that you showcase and the things that you demonstrate over the summer on if you would receive a full-time offer. And the full-time opportunity would be an executive team leader, and they are full-time salaried leaders within our stores. And they handle multi-million-dollar businesses for Target and are essentially an assistant manager to a store director. And so they deal with a lot of increasing and driving sales volume at Target. They're doing a lot with hiring, and there's a lot that goes into it in terms of HR capacity as well too. But specifically for store management, talking about the differences between the two, store management is they rotate through different work centers that we'll talk about in the next slide, really to understand how they operate, different nuances, and are paired with a mentor who's in that executive team leader position. And so they understand more so around around leadership, leading a team of anywhere from 10 to upwards of 30 individuals, just really depending on the size of the store. So it really is a huge leadership opportunity to come in and understand retail operations, and then managing a large team of individuals who have been at Target for years, but also giving you that opportunity to understand how you would lead, how you would empower a team, how you would build trust and respect within the individuals who report into you as well. Specifically for asset protection, the difference there is that you would still rotate through a couple of different areas really to get baseline knowledge of how our store operates, but you would spend most of your time within asset protection or loss prevention at Target. And that is not a security officer. It's more so with understanding proactive policies for Target. And so thinking about how we can ensure a safe environment for our team, for our guests, and also for our assets that are tangible or intangible. And so there is portions of that talks about launching investigations in terms of there will be camera work where you would be understanding and coming up with thinking about our trends in terms of shortages and theft and fraud potentially within store. There's also portions of it that talks about like crowd management and crisis response as well too. So there are stores that unfortunately have been impacted by, hard weather. So that could be, terrible storms. So what are our plans in place for making sure that we secure our stores, our response to making sure that our teams are safe, and then what are those next steps? And then a lot of what those leaders did this year, or last year, I should say, is making sure that our stores were up to CDC protocol. And so thinking about all of the changes that went into our stores in 2020, the asset protection leaders had a lot to do with that. And so just thinking about like proactive policies and basically analyzing the things that we potentially have gaps in and could continue to improve upon and innovate upon. And so if you were to interview for the asset protection internship program, a leader that's within asset protection would be able to share more about like their priorities, what they see upcoming for 2021 as well. And I'm sure could go into even more detail than I have today around how they continue to identify and resolve internal investigations as well. And so some of the areas that we have in store that I mentioned are specialty sales. Those are a couple areas in store where guests typically need higher touch customer service or could be a little bit more of a selling environment here. And so those are areas like beauty and cosmetics, electronics, as well as apparel, where our guests come in and may have questions and look to our team for answers. And so the team that you would lead in that area are consultants and can go deep in product knowledge and specifications. Service and engagement, that's the front end of our store. So think it's centered all around guest experience. And so think about the entire front end, like all of the checkout lanes, order pickup and drive up lanes, cart attendants, guest service. And so if you are a leader in that area, that is what you would be responsible for, making sure that every guest has a great experience as they walk into and out of our stores. General merchandise and food sales, for the most part, outside of food sales, general merchandise is usually behind the scenes, so things that are not guest facing. So think replenishment, inventory, how items are stocked in our back room prior to hitting the sales floor, how we unload trailers from distribution centers. And then also I mentioned utilizing our stores as hubs. So a lot of the stores now have teams in the back of our stores that are fulfilling orders from .com. And so your team would more so be in the back end process of the store if you were overseeing that area. So just overall think about like replenishment, inventory management, and fulfillment capabilities in that area. And then asset protection, I talked about that previously, and that is, again, more so around loss prevention, proactive strategies to make sure that our teams are safe and secure, and you work a lot alongside HR due to just confidentiality as well. And then for our executive team leader role, so this is the full-time opportunity that the internship leads into. And so again, you will get a job preview into what that full-time role would look like. And in terms of those core roles, usually you would be an executive team leader, or ETL for short, over one of those areas in the previous slide, like asset protection, service and engagement, general merchandise, and specialty sales. So as an executive team leader, you really drive total store sales and understand your business areas impact for total store profitability. You would be owning a multi-million-dollar business for Target, understanding, having influence over hiring for your team, supporting new guest initiatives. But then also you do have to be able to think on your feet. Sometimes in retail, things don't go exactly the way you would have planned or would have loved to see them. So there is a lot that goes into problem solving, thinking critically, and being able to influence others as well. And then I know we get a lot of questions typically around career development, to say after the internship or even after the executive team leader role, what's next? Is there something else that is potentially an opportunity for me at Target? And so this is not a holistic or exhaustive list at all. And so this is just an idea of some of the traditional paths you would see after being within store management or asset protection. So this slide really goes through some of the most common areas. So coming in on the left-hand side as an executive team leader, usually you would do 1 or 2 stints as an executive team leader, really to understand the business, understanding your leadership style. And then a lot of individuals go into being a store director. So that's someone who is responsible for the entire functions of a Target store. And then after that, leading into a district senior director. And that is someone who is basically leads usually around 8 to 10 stores. And so definitely a larger role to oversee operations for multiple stores. But then outside of that, there are a lot of individuals who come in as an executive team leader and find that they end up being interested in HR or asset protection or operations and more. And there are business partner roles, which means that, for example, an HR business partner would be for the district. So they are someone who is responsible for HR for an entire 8 to 10 stores. And so continuing to move up that way. But then there's also visual merchandising, property management, so many different opportunities that you would gain visibility to in that executive team leader role, and potentially understand what your passion would be and interest even after that role would look like as well. And then last slide here is just around asset protection roles as well. So if you were to come in as an executive team leader specifically over asset protection, you would be starting in this area right here. And so from there, more of that quote unquote traditional path would then move up to be an asset protection business partner, again, which means that going from supporting one store, you would be supporting 8 to 10. And then a director has even more responsibility to support those business partners as well. So again, this is not an exhaustive list at all, but just to give you an idea of some of the opportunities or more traditional paths coming out of the internship programs. And so that is what I have prepared on my side from slides that I wanted to make sure that we address, but I definitely can also go into answering any questions that anybody has as of now, whether it's just solely regarding Target or specific to internship opportunities. So so that I can see everyone's face, I'll stop sharing and then just let me know if you have any questions about anything that was already referenced or anything that I didn't touch on.
Well, Pamela, thank you so much for sharing. I think this has been really valuable to hear so much information. If you have questions, please feel free, Kang, to raise your hand. Otherwise, use the chat bar as well. But Kang, if you want to go first.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing about this. I'm just kind of interested from your own perspective, what the Target culture in your role is like, because everyone has their own experience.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a good question. So culture at Target, regardless of if you're like at headquarters, in stores, it definitely is team oriented. And so we do a lot with our team. You would have things that of course are, individual tasks or goals that you need to get done on your own, but a lot of it would still be reflected back onto your team. Outside of that, I would definitely say it's more so of a work hard, play hard kind of culture at Target. And there's definitely a lot of opportunity to for a career advancement. Continuous learning is something that is huge for Target as well, in terms of if there is something that you're interested in learning more about, making sure that you have open and honest conversations with your managers to make sure that we're able to basically meet you where you are as well. So those are some of the things that I really enjoy about Target. And then also work-life balance and the fact that I love Target as a brand. And so if I didn't work for Target, I would still shop at Target and be a guest. And so I think working for a company that you believe in really is something that shouldn't be taken for granted, and can help you stay motivated on a day-to-day basis. And I'll put my email address in the chat too, just in case, like if anyone is interested in applying after, I can be reached there.
I have a question. How does the internship application look like? Do we have to go to Target internships or?
Yeah, so I probably should have actually had that handy. So if I have time here, I can try to pull that up while I still have everyone. But yes, the internship program application is on our careers page. And so it's literally target.com/careers. And we have an internship section on our careers page.
Okay. Thank you.
For sure.
Is the internship program just a summer opportunity?
The internship starts as a summer opportunity, so it would start in June this year. And then from there, if you were to perform and you accept a full-time offer with us, you do have the opportunity to continue to work with us as an extended intern throughout the rest of your, whether that's 1 semester or 2 semesters that you have remaining after the internship.
Okay, thank you.
For sure. And I'm trying to pull that up so I can share the links too while I do that.
And then while Pamela's doing that, Jayla?
Hi, I just have a couple, so I'm trying to pick one. How is the feedback process structured for the position? Because I know you talked a lot about career development and that being an aspect of it. So is it just the ETL that you're paired up with who directly mentors you, or is there other people who you're able to get feedback from? And overall, what's that process like?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So for feedback, it could come from a couple of different areas. I would say formal feedback would come from your manager, and that would be the store director that you report into. And then for the ETL mentor, they have conversations with your manager as well, could be sharing feedback there, but all of your feedback would be through the store director, and then your executive team leader, who's your mentor, would be able to give you feedback in the moment, as they're more so the day-to-day hands-on individual that you would be spending a lot of time with. And so as you're going through your training plan, they would be able to help. And if they see something that you're doing really, really well, or things that they see as an opportunity, they would definitely share that. So you'll have a formal mentor, but then as you're rotating through different areas in the store, that would actually be different leaders. So you would actually build relationships with almost every leader in the store throughout the internship.
And so it's great to hear about formal feedback opportunities. The other thing I would emphasize is whether it's at Target or elsewhere, it's totally acceptable to ask for feedback. That's a great thing. It shows your engagement and that you want to continue to improve. And so as you're rotating with different supervisors, I think it's acceptable to continue to ask for feedback as well.
I have a question. How many people are you expecting to apply to the internship, and what are the chances of actually of one of us getting an internship?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we do actively recruit against our posting. So know that like if you submit an application to our posting, know that it will be reviewed and you're not submitting it to like a black hole or anything like that. But across the time from when we start to recruit for the position. So we typically start to recruit every September and then typically end recruiting late March. So in that time, there's hundreds of individuals that apply. But I would say that we typically hire within like a state anywhere from like 20 to 30. So you definitely still have opportunity, and there's still opportunities as we speak within Minnesota too.
And so once students apply, what does that application process look like?
Yeah, so the application process is traditionally if a recruiter reviews your resume and sees that they want to reach out to you, you would have an initial phone screening, and that's more so informal. That's like getting to know your background, sharing more with you about the internship, answering any questions you may have. And then there's a two-step more like formal internship or interview process. The first round could be in that first phone screening at the same time with a recruiter. And it's just 3 behavioral-based questions. So tell me about a time when XYZ. And then the final one would just be with whatever leader of the Twin Cities you're interested in. So for the store management internship program, we hire into districts. So every district has like 8 to 10 stores. And so we have over 66 stores in Minnesota. And so because of that, that's how we drill down to understand who you would interview with. And so we would take your preferences into consideration to say, if you want to be downtown Minneapolis, or you want to be in St. Paul or Maple Grove area, that's how we would understand what district you would go to. And then we would proceed with an offer at that point in time, potentially.
I had another question.
Sure.
From I guess this program has gone on for a while, and you had a lot of interns go in and out. What are some quality or some successful interns that have been able to go through the program or are now working with Target?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would say great qualities or things that I think showed up when a lot of students were, this definitely isn't something that's required, but if you have previous retail experience, of course, that's a plus. But in terms of the things that you could work on as well too is communication. So how you're communicating to your teams and how you communicate effectively to different a little bit different. How you retail days, no 2 days really are the same, but how you can think about how you want to think on your feet, or how you can think critically as well too. And then I would say things that stood out to leaders is how you go above and beyond. So you'll definitely have your training plan that points out all of the focuses that you should do on a weekly basis. But, are there individuals who aren't on your plan that you want to meet with because you're interested, or you want to learn even more from them? Or if there's things that you see as an opportunity for a Target store that isn't on your plan that you want to go out of your way to address as well too. So I think it's, of course, performing within your role, but what are the things that make you stand out among other interns? And the internship program, I see your question, how long is the internship? Traditionally, it's 10 weeks. We did just get word that the internship this summer will actually be 8 weeks. And that is coming from, I believe, just priorities of the team and making sure that, you would still get an amazing investment and experience with us.
And Laura?
Hi. Well, first of all, thank you for, coming on here and letting us know all about this like internship opportunity. I think it's really cool to have, a store that I go to like almost every day have an internship opportunity, but a couple of my questions have already been answered regarding location and then what qualities you look for other than what you've described in the description. But another question that I had was, do you happen to have like sort of an age preference or a year preference within students? I know in the description you say sort of junior/rising senior is preferred, but have you had anyone younger or sort of had any exceptions within the recruiting process?
Yeah, that's a good question. So typically our internships, you're correct, they're at the junior level. So individuals who, this summer would have 1 to 2 semesters left of school. So that's traditionally who would go into the internship program. Sophomores, not necessarily in the store management or the asset protection internship program at this point in time. We do have other opportunities in terms of like events or development sessions that you could join us this summer, and that would lead into actually potentially already having your internship solidified by this summer for the following summer. And so that's something different that we have had success with in engagement for earlier talent and instead of waiting until the junior level.
And just following up on that, is that a specific program or how do students get in that applicant pool for sophomores?
Yeah, so for sophomores, if you are a sophomore and you're interested in that, so there's 2, they're not posted yet, but one is the Women in Technology Symposium. So that's more so for individuals who are looking for like software engineering, computer science in the future. Their one is called the Diversity Leadership Symposium, and that is inclusive of almost every opportunity. So anything from finance to store management to asset protection to inventory management and buying. And so usually those would be posted around like the April or May timeframe, and it would be in August. Typically it would be in person, but TBD on what that would look like on if it would be virtual this upcoming summer. Any other questions?
Well, I just want to thank everyone for joining today. I'll make sure to send the recording out of this event as well as the link to apply. Pamela, any final advice on information that should be included on resume, key things to highlight, or anything else to emphasize?
I would definitely say have your grad date on your resume. If there's any kind of leadership experience that you've had, it doesn't have to be, within a specific work experience. It could be that you were a resident assistant or within a student organization. And then I think those are the biggest pieces that we look for as well, but make sure that your resume is submitted along with your application, because sometimes if you don't submit in a resume, your application could be passed over just for a simple thing like that. So wanting to make sure that you do upload that. And yeah, no, I for sure look forward to hearing and connecting with many of you, and you should have my email address now, so feel free to reach out, and if you're interested, Matt will let you know if the link to apply as well too.
And so the other thing I would emphasize is the fact this is an opportunity that you can be talking to your Wallen advisor about. If you want someone else reviewing your resume prior to submitting that, that's a great topic to talk with your advisor about, as well as practicing a mock interview or just going through that elevator pitch for the screening process. And it looks like we got a final question. Yeah. And when is that application due?
Yeah, Jayla, I would say there's not like an official end date, but I would just get it in as soon as possible if you are interested, just because as we continue to recruit, like every day we would probably have less and less opportunity. And so just thinking about having the most options available to you.
Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Pamela has shared her email if you'd like to follow up with her directly. If you have any questions, I'll put my email in here as well. Please feel free to reach out. And then when we have information on those symposiums to sign up or go through the process for this summer, we'll be sure to include that in Moose Mail as well. That's our internal newsletter. So
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Matt.
thank you.
Thank you.